A message for Larry Elder. Hey, all gravity, any day above ground, live it. So you already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right, share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. I'm going to say something that I know y'all are about to, y'all about to side-eye me for. It's 6 words. I feel bad for Larry Elder. Keep your mouse and your thumbs away from the subscribe button. Hear me out before you do that. I'm imploring you. I built up a relationship with y'all for about 2.5 years. Let me cook. Then you can unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Shout out to TD and Rob. I say I feel bad for Larry Elder because I do. I genuinely do feel bad. You got to blame my mama. I got compassion. You got to blame that woman. Don't blame my mama. I love my mama. I say I feel bad for Larry Elder family because we're watching the free fall of a dumb servitude member. And it's glorious. I'm just going to tell you that. It's glorious because it's about time they got up out the paint. But the way Larry Elder's going out this is the bad way to go out. But, you know, we say coons don't have a retirement plan. Larry Elder's been talking about the black community for the better part of 40 years. And all he has to show for it is a failed, not failing, even though he's still in it, a failed presidential run. He has an echo chamber that is starting to not reciprocate his voice, and now his own party and ideological spectrum and its members are not even helping him advance forward. What do I mean? Larry Elder has had the opportunity to be on 2 debate stages like Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump by choice said he wasn't going to do that because, you know, his polling number shows that he doesn't even have to talk about the issues and talk to how he likes to view it, his underlings in the Republican Party, because his 4 years of presidential service should be enough to do his talking. Plus, you know, the indictments or whatever. Larry Elder could not even get on those stages despite claiming he had all the criteria. So the first time he couldn't go, he lost his mind and flew up to Milwaukee from LA to try to get in the building and sue the RNC. That didn't work. Then the second time was in his home state of California. Still didn't get in, even though he had, according to him, the qualifications. So he ended up with Dave Rubin doing a remote. And it's sad to see, folks. It is sad to see because Larry Elder did all this work for 40 years, denigrating the black community, having his radio show, his TV show, talking about black issues, and really never coming out with positive solutions except, you know, the obvious things that any politician will talk about, you know, school choice, combating fatherlessness, which is his big thing. So let's focus on that for a second. He talks about combating fatherlessness, yet he goes in front of Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay on the Higher Learning podcast. Shout out to both of them. And Van Lathan, I still contend, was being an a-hole that day, respectfully, and that was needed because it threw Larry off. He went with the same talking points to black people, and he couldn't articulate his message. And he became flustered. And when Rachel Lindsay came and asked him point blank, what have you done to combat fatherlessness since you want to talk about it? He needed her to acknowledge that there was a problem before he could come up with a solution.
That there is a problem.
Larry, get the fuck out of here.
Do y'all understand that Larry Elder sounded like Vivek Ramaswamy when Teslin asked him, what have you done in the realm of politics? anywhere up to the point where you're sitting in front of us so we can gauge how you have been civic minded? And he told her it's probably too small to brag. And then we find out 30 minutes later you were on the board that picks Harvard's president. Why couldn't you just tell her that? That's a big decision. That affects endowments. That affects boosters. That affects the funding that the school can potentially get. Why did you not explain that? And this is a growing problem with the Republican Party. They think that they're going to ride the coattails of what goes on in society and then just say, hey, you see this, how bad this is? We can fix it. That's not how life works anymore. We need solutions out here. The supply chains are still messed up. BRICS is coming. It's not getting any better, folks. Our kids are being trafficked. There's over 1,000 Ohio kids missing. I don't see nobody talking about that. I ain't hear one Republican or Democrat talk about that. Larry Elder, there you go. That could have been an issue you could have rode on. Maybe Ronna McDaniel would have said, listen, you know what? Let's put him on there. But we know why she didn't put him on there. There was already a black person on the stage, but we're going to get to that another day. Larry Elder, back to you. I feel bad for you, sir, because your fall from grace is bad. Horrible. But, you know, they say Kooning has no retirement plan. Karma comes to collect on everybody. Nobody's exempt. But Larry, again, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, sir, because 50% of this is your fault because you're trying to appeal to an audience that we have told our audience and the white people that try to come in and troll, they don't like you. They don't like the black dumb servitude that likes to lick white people's cracks. They don't like that. Yeah, you can repeat talking points that they use. Yes, of course. But when you try to talk for them against us, they don't like that. They could do that themselves. And most of them don't have the balls to do it anyway. But I say this is 50% your fault, Larry. Because the other 50%, well, before I do that, this will also tie into it. Larry Elder, I'm going to give you a solution. Since you didn't want to talk about fatherlessness and how to combat it, I'm going to give you a solution to maybe help you in your, hopefully, you have another few years on this planet. Not wishing anything on you. I'm just saying we don't know how life, we don't know when it decides to take a right turn. Sir, I think it's time for you to leave the Republican Party.
Larry, get the fuck out of here.
And the conservative ideology. I'm not saying to give it up all entirely, but you're considered an extreme right winger. I think it's time for you to come into the middle of the conservative spectrum, you know, right in the middle between moderate and far right. I think you need to sit there. Because you trying to go far right does not work. And you demonstrated this in front of Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay when you sat there and were shouting them down because they were asking a simple question. And then you shouted them down again when he started talking about Trump and David Duke. You didn't even listen to the question first before you flew off the handle. So I took that as not only you defending Donald Trump, you're defending David Duke. You're trying to push that white man to the side and not catch the shrapnel. You don't do that, especially on an interview. And I also say you need to leave the Republican Party, sir, because the Republican Party is doing you no favors. You were better off running as an independent. The party that you belong to did not even want to put you on that stage to at least let you fail the first time so they could get you up out the paint. You claim you had all the requirements and the white woman who runs it didn't even let you on. And then your most egregious moment, this is the moment you can never come back from. This is why I call you now a spectacoon. This might be a level higher than a unicorn. You told Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay there's no systemic racism, but then later acknowledged that there's racism in the country. So if there's racism in the country, how could there be no systemic racism? I'm going to let y'all answer that in the comment thread. This is why I say, I'm going to get to the other 50% now because the video is starting to get long. The other 50%, Larry Elder, and it also has to do with you and the conservative movement. I think it's, like I said, I think it's time for you to go into the middle of the conservative ideological spectrum. But I think it's also time for you to distance yourself from the rest of the black dumb servitude. I'm talking about your girl Candace, who you went to her wedding. Your boy Tatum Tots, Brandon Tatum, for those who don't know. Greg Forehead, that's the black conservative perspective. Amala, I'm not black Ekpanobi. Who else? Jesse Lee Peterson, the granddaddy of Coonan. And, you know, Larry's also what I coined fellow member of the Four Horsemen of the Coonpocalypse. Hell, even ABL. And I like ABL, but, you know, I say that because when Larry Elder went on The Breakfast Club, everybody loved that man. It's the same thing they did with Vivek when he went on there, talking about how he owned the liberals. Larry Elder, you went on The Breakfast Club and you had a viral clip. Yes, you did. You reversed Charlemagne's Negro wake-up call. Yes, you did. We'll give you that. Here's the problem. Now, we know The Breakfast Club outside of Teslin is not a good area for politics. We know this. They lost their credibility 3 years ago. You went there and then went to Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay and completely lost all your cachet. To the point they made you what you are. You were just a screaming conservative who had no facts and outdated statistics. But what killed me really, but you know, people like myself, Tory and Blacklight, Afro and others, we knew this was going to happen. You showed up in front of Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay and got exposed. And I checked. I checked. The Black Dumb Servitude class did not, I repeat, did not cover this. Why did you not cover this? Explain that to me. Why didn't you cover this? I'm not lying to you, family. It's there on the screen. Tatum Tots didn't cover it. Greg Forehead didn't cover it. Amala Ekpanobi didn't write no tweets. And Brandon Tatum, especially because he brought him on after he didn't get on the debate stage the first time. He didn't bring him on to talk about that interview with Van Lathan. And that told me something. That actually told me something. The black dumb servitude don't even believe what they're saying. This was confirmation for me. Those white bullhorns. No, you know what? We'll say it like this. Those black bullhorns for white supremacy saw one of their members, one of their brothers, on an interview, and they know he got cooked. They didn't even have enough love for their brother in gray and black arms to at least debunk what the Breakfast Club said. I'm sorry, not the Breakfast Club. Higher Learning said about what's going on in the country. They couldn't even go and save Larry. At least lie, because we know you guys lie a lot. So it should be second nature for y'all. Y'all should have had the video up. Where is y'all's live streams on this? New Black Media does live streams on subjects like this. Where were y'all's live streams? I don't see no uploads. Y'all could have sat up there like we do and showed the stats that you believe are correct. You could have done that. But again, y'all know he's lying. Y'all know he a BS artist. And you know you can't piss your audience off. Because, again, for me, I know what would have happened if you would have done that. People would have started while they were listening. They would have started looking up the stats as you were talking. And they would have realized that Larry was wrong. Because, again, Larry likes to use that 1352. There's been a 4% drop, but none of y'all talked about that. Y'all don't want to bring up to your white audience majority that black crime and white crime is on par. Y'all just worry about the victims. And even then, it's still kind of close. It's only about 100,000 difference, maybe 130 in reports and victims. So explain to us how black crime is way out of control when we have lists of cities in this country where black people aren't even the majority. But it's always Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. November 5th, 2024, family, is going to be beautiful. Because I've said this on many occasions, and I've also said it on other New Black Media channels. That's the day the black dumb servitude ends. Because, again, regardless if Trump is the nominee and he wins, or Biden somehow pulls it out, or the Democrats get a new flunky for 4 years, the credibility of the black conservative, the black dumb servitude member, the black conservative, whatever the hell you want to call them, their credibility is over. Even their crowd now is starting to turn on them. It's subtle. It's subtle because, you know, that's what white supremacy does. It's very subtle. They're rarely ever like that. It's rarely in your face. They like to subtly distance themselves. Get all your coins now. Get all your subscribers now, because I'm telling you, the night after that, even if Trump wins, y'all are on the winning side now. Your crowd's going to want to hear solutions. No more bitching, and they don't want that. No more moaning, no more pissing. They want to hear solutions. They ain't going to want to hear about quote unquote woke problems anymore. They going to want to hear a solution. They ain't going to want to hear about, oh, here's a story of black people killing each other. They don't want to hear that no more. They want to see their wins. So again, just to wrap up, Larry Elder, this message is for you. It's time, sir, to have an easier existence in your twilight years. It's time to leave the Republicans. Declare yourself independent. You don't have to go to the Democrats. I would not do that to you. You'd lose your mind. Become an independent. Go on your computer or your phone. Before you check your donations, change your party affiliation to independent. No party. Then do a video on Epic Times saying, I'm going to be more open to having conversations with people who do not fit the conservative narrative. And in doing that, I feel as though I need to pull back a little bit. Still be a conservative, but not be present Larry Elder. That would show growth. We're going to need that from you. Because again, it's obvious that the party that you love and respect does not respect you. And most black people do not go where they're not respected or wanted. And it's clear that the conservative side is done with you, and the people that you consider friends and family, they don't even have enough love to come defend you. That's it. That's the video. I know it was long, but there was a lot to get through. So I'm going to get up out of here. You already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right. Share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. Take care. Stay safe. I'm out.